Alright, so here we are with another episode of Minecraft. As you can see, we finally finished up the wall. I'll do a little bit more touching up, but now we're just clearing out all of the dirt that's in kind of the courtyard so that we can eventually move our villagers in here so that they are a little bit more hypothetically protected considering the fact that I am constantly getting surrounded by scouting parties. My confidence in saying that this is a safe location for my villagers has greatly decreased with the amount of trouble that I have clearing these guys out. Because the last thing I want is to have to repopulate my village based off of my iron farm like I did the last time my village was raided. I basically just was clearing out all of this dirt. I thankfully have both the beacon and my fancy shovel. Don't get too attached to it, it eventually disappears, but that's a spoiler alert for future us problems. So I remember when I was first playing Minecraft that I would watch people and they just wouldn't pick up all of the items because their inventory was full and they would just leave it behind, and that always bothered me. Because I was like, oh wait, why would they do that? Don't they want everything? Here I'm swapping out the walls so they all match up. But now that I've done it, played Minecraft, I don't know, a little over a while, a year-ish, and almost 2, I now understand the concept of having a full inventory and just not having any room to place any stuff. You could see when I was walking through that opening that the floor is just slightly lower than the entryway, and I do eventually fix that. I actually raise the floor back up just so that it all lines up with the main ground of the outside, because I knew it was going to drive me nuts that it was going to be slightly uneven. I have a couple spots like that where I'll put stairs in different places because it feels a little bit ridiculous. But for this one, it felt like, no, I'll actually just fix this one up. And so here I'm running around putting all of these lanterns up so that I can prevent mobs from spawning on my walls. But I also don't have to have torches everywhere because we want to make this place look nice enough that we don't need that. Thankfully, it kind of turned out all right. And this right here is kind of one of the entryways. I added in kind of these nice arches to make it look a little bit nicer. So that's the castle right there. And this is my temporary entrance. I do eventually open that space up so that you can go into the castle from this side door. But we are not there yet. And I basically just block off most of this dirt area that encompasses the wall. But I also made sure that there were enough torches so that we wouldn't have like a whole zombie army amongst right in the middle of our castle. Wouldn't that be lovely? That'd be like forget the Horse of Troy or whatever. That'd just be terrible. I'd pop one thing open and our whole kingdom would fall apart. And then a torch to make sure it's safe. Skills. The skills that I'm displaying are insane. But yeah, so here you can see that I kind of leveled it out a little bit better and made sure I do eventually like pop that wall open. And then this is the back entrance towards the stained glass area. I say stained glass because it was stained glass in the original hardcore version of this castle. Link in the description if I remember. But I never actually, I have yet to put the actual glass in it. I should do that. I do fix this because that's not pretty. But yeah, I'm just making a nice little back entryway just so that we can kind of get all the stuff that we need in order to be able to see what we're looking at. Me trying to figure out how exactly to make this look natural, but knowing that it's going to just look weird. And now this is where I'm starting to build up the house to have my villagers live in. I don't really know what I'm doing, obviously, when it came to like building it up, but I kind of had a picture in my head of what it should look like, and at a certain point we decided that that was not an ideal spot. But yeah, so I decided to do the dark oak because I don't use it very often, and I went to the trouble of getting the saplings for it. I personally prefer the spruce out of the coloring. The skill's just insane, but overall I'm pretty pleased with it. And here we are just a little bit further along. I'm adding in some of the birch just to have a lighter toned wall. And I'm also stripping them because I don't want a Dalmatian styled house. But yeah, so we're just adding that stuff in. So hopefully it will look sort of nice. But spoiler alert, at the end of building up almost the entire house, I decided that I didn't really like the way the roof was structured, so I basically just tore it all out. So I guess we'll just have to live with it. But yeah, I thankfully this week was able to kind of work a little bit harder on working on sorting out my issues with my mods that I've had since I've updated to 1.20, and one of those was fixing the replay mod, which meant I was able to go back and edit a couple of the replay mods that I had made while getting this, while building this house up, and unfortunately including the wall, but that was after I had posted the video. But yeah, so I fixed up a replay mod so we can finally actually get to see me do a replay after a really long time. Unfortunately, because I just got this fixed, that means that most of my 1.20 building stuff doesn't have a replay since it just got fixed, but I was able to still get some of them before I officially updated to 1.20, and thankfully it is all working now, so in the future we can have it. So without further ado, here is the first replay mod in a really long time. Right, and so with that, we added in the final touches of a chimney that actually works. I actually forgot that I made that work actually have a chimney part until I was rewatching this footage, and I was like, oh, I did do something and made that look nice. But yeah, so we restructured the roof to have it more of the classic, like, I don't know, T-shape roof, because originally, well, technically speaking, both roof shapes were T's. They were just different types of T-shaped roofs. And so we went for the more classical T-shaped roof as opposed to my ugly angled one. I still think, I mentioned this in the first video back after the break, but I think that it needs to have a little bit more depth to it, because it feels like a very flat structured building. You can kind of see it in the castle where I added in all the different layers, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that it was from the one like Zelda Temple of Time Breath of the Wild tutorial, and they were saying, here, you need to do this, and I said, yes, I'll do it. This video also includes the last of my footage that I did before going on break, which is kind of interesting, just being able to kind of look at it and just be like, wow, I really took a long step off. So the next video that you guys see will be me when I first started kind of playing Minecraft, but before I officially went back to uploading videos. So towards like the middle of the summer was when I started playing Minecraft again after taking a really long break. And yeah, so that'll be kind of interesting, but that's next week's video. This week we are looking at our house and trying to make it look nicer. I decided to put these fences on. I know that I don't think any mobs could get through it, but I really wanted to make it as secure as possible. I actually, unfortunately, for a period of time, yeah, I'm looking at that because I'm like, what's this light coming from? Unfortunately, the fencing that's around like the second story, I eventually had to make it a little bit different because, oh yeah, and I opened that up because the villagers, because of where I put some lecterns up here, they were able to get onto the roof and they kept on falling down on the side. And it was making me nervous because I would come in and there would just be some villager on the edge and I'd have to like knock him down to the main floor so that he could come back up and go to where he actually needs to go. And so I had to fix that. I also was really nervous that the villagers would end up touching the fire and end up dying because we worked really hard on rebuilding this village. We just cleared out all of the ground to make sure that we could have the rest of the villagers be able to, or have like not dirt floor, a little bit nicer here. But yeah, so this is basically what I did right up until you can see all the holes that I just barely filled in. I think there are lights in there to prevent mobs from spawning. It's fine. Don't concern yourself about that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like if you, I'm laughing because it just keeps happening. Leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.